Some missionaries spend their entire lives proclaiming the gospel without ever knowing how far their work will reach. Saint Kilian was one of them. Leaving his homeland of Ireland behind, he journeyed to a foreign land with one purpose alone: to bring people to Jesus Christ. His courage, fidelity to the gospel, and ultimate martyrdom made him one of the greatest missionaries of early medieval Europe. Born around AD 640 in Ireland, Kilian grew up in a country already transformed by the missionary work of St. Patrick and many other holy monks. From an early age, he embraced the monastic life, developing a deep love for prayer, sacred scripture, and missionary service. As his faith matured, he felt called to leave Ireland and proclaim the gospel to peoples who had not yet fully embraced Christianity. Together with his faithful companions, Saint Colman and Saint Totnan, Kilian traveled across Europe. Before beginning their mission, they made a pilgrimage to Rome, where Pope Colman blessed and encouraged their work, confirming their mission in communion with the Church. The three missionaries eventually reached Franconia, in present-day Germany. Although Christianity had begun to spread there, many pagan customs remained. Kilian patiently learned the local language, visited villages, cared for the people, and preached the gospel with kindness, clarity, and conviction. Little by little, many families came to the Christian faith through his witness. One of those deeply moved by Kilian's preaching was Duke Gozbert, the ruler of the region. After listening carefully to the missionary bishop, Gozbert requested baptism and sincerely desired to live according to the teachings of Christ. Kilian knew that following Christ meant more than receiving baptism. It also required living according to the gospel. He gently explained to the Duke that his union with Gailana, who had been his brother's widow, was not compatible with Christian teaching on marriage. Although this conversation was difficult, Kilian spoke with both truth and charity. Duke Gozbert accepted the bishop's guidance with humility. Gailana, however, reacted very differently. Fearing that she would lose her position and influence, she grew deeply hostile toward Kilian and his companions. While the Duke was away, she secretly arranged their deaths. On July 8, 689, armed men entered the missionaries' residence. Kilian, together with Saint Colman and Saint Totnan, was killed because he refused to compromise the truth of the gospel. Thus, the three missionaries became the first great martyrs of the Christian faith in Franconia. Some years later, their relics were rediscovered and solemnly honored. Numerous pilgrims reported favors, healings, and answered prayers received through Saint Kilian's intercession. His reputation for holiness quickly spread throughout Germany. Over the centuries, Würzburg became one of Germany's most important pilgrimage centers. Saint Kilian came to be honored as the Apostle of Franconia, and generations of missionaries drew inspiration from his example of courage, humility, and unwavering fidelity. Today, Saint Kilian remains a powerful reminder that authentic evangelization always joins truth with charity. Because he truly loved the people entrusted to him, he never hesitated to proclaim the full gospel, even when it placed his own life in danger. His mission also reminds us that the fruits of faithful service often appear long after the missionary has finished his earthly work. Although Kilian did not live to see the full harvest, the Christian faith continued to flourish throughout Franconia because of the seeds he had planted.